Well, first of all, hello, sir.
How are you, brother? Bruv, how are you, bruv?
What's on, bro?
I'm in your room. I'm actually in your room.
I know. You see, okay. So Chris, Chris is coming to y'all live from my LA apartment, otherwise known as his guest house. Where so when basically Chris and his family adopted me. When I was a 6 years ago at this point, when I was trying to get in, pretty broke, had very little money. I remember one time, me and Chris were trying to sell a project, and I was like $80,000. I was like, I can live off $80,000. He's like, no, you can't. but but he would let me sleep in his guest house. They would feed me. We had dinner. I would get to hang with his kids, who are phenomenal, beautiful. They're basically adults almost, damn near at this point. But um, Chris, I got so much to say, man. So I'm not even. I'm gonna get us started in the conversation, and it's gonna all come out as we go.
Yes. First of all, where did you get that old ass bio from?
Which bio?
The bio you read on my credits. I was waiting for you to go. He was on the Love Boat and he was Todd Bridges' best friend on Different World and Different Strokes.
I
Anyway,
got it
yeah.
off your Wikipedia page. I
Oh
mean,
my
look, your
God. I gotta
Wikipedia
fix
page
that.
has 50 credits on it. So, being Mary Jane, being born again, Real Housewives of Hollywood. You tell them, dog. I mean, I like. I don't, Chris. How do you introduce? How does somebody introduce you? Chris is the person who introduced me to Dave Chappelle, Tiffany Haddish, Common, Mos Def,
Damn.
uh, yeah, nigga, Kenya Barris. Like, Chris goes golfing with the Obamas. I'm not, well, not both of them, just President Obama. Like, when Spike Lee found out I had a manager, he called Chris to ask if the manager was legit. Like, you're that dude, Chris. So my question for you is like, what is something you've done in your life where even you were like, damn, Chris took me to Jamie Foxx's house for the first time, Boris Kojo. These are all the people Chris has put in my life before. Um, what makes you be like, damn, I can't believe I'm here? When has that happened to you?
The first time I met 44, the president, what happened was my wife and I were on vacation. We were visiting some white friends in Maine, and there was an ice cream place called Dark Harbor. And so I made a post and said, "This is called Dark Harbor, but we're the darkest things here." Right? So Ray Allen and his wife hit us and said, "Yo, you guys are in Maine?" And we're like, "Yeah, we're headed to New York after." They're like, "Well, you got to stop in Connecticut." And I don't know the East Coast map. I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Babe, how does that work?" So we go there, and Ray Allen and about 25 people get out of two big ass vans, and they're unloading. And I'm like, "What are you guys doing?" He said, "Well, we just came from a family vacation in Martha's Vineyard, but I'm going back because, I told the president I had to leave." He goes, "Well, why are you leaving?" He goes, "Well, I gotta, my kids start school." And he said, "Well, can't Shannon take care of that?" And he's like, "Oh, come on back." So he's like, "So I got to go back tomorrow." I said, "Oh, we are." And so I said, "Babe, enjoy New York." And so I jumped in the car with Ray in the morning, and we drove and took a ferry to Martha's Vineyard, where I played golf with 44 for the first time.
Okay, what's it like? I mean, like, what the fuck is that like?
So
First of all, is he good?
he's very good,
Okay.
which made me mad because I was like, "Okay, let me whip this motherfucker's ass." No, I
And you
didn't.
really golf. Every
I,
time I see you, you got golf clubs on you.
yes, I'm an addict. So what happened was the first time I went, I played with the aides, right? The guys that are in his constituency, that his assistants or whatever. And then it was Ray Allen, Valerie Jarrett, her cousin Cyrus Walker, Alonzo Mourning, and Ray played. So the president, Ray, Cyrus, and Alonzo. And I'm playing with these guys. I'm in the company. I'm in this group. They're in that group, but I want to be in that group. You know what I mean? Like, I'm watching them, ha ha, laughing, and I'm like, "Yeah, this is great." And so I'm like, I told Ray, I was like, "Yo, I got to get in that group." He goes, "Well, you can't. We got four." I said, "I'm gonna put some cocaine in Alonzo's luggage or something, but I need to be over there." And so the next day we're playing, and I'm playing with the aides again, and it's cool. And then all of a sudden, Cyrus, Valley Jarrett's cousin, gets sick. I had stopped at the turn. I was like, "I don't feel like playing with these dudes. This is not why I'm here." And he's like, "Yo, Chris, I got food poisoning. Go play with the president." I was like, "Really?" Grabbed my bag, put it on the cart, raced off, and joined Zoe, Ray, and Mr. Barack Obama.
What was
And the
his
first thing I said was like, "Sir, I just went from Southwest to Air Force One in 15 seconds."
what was his dap like?
It's exactly like what Key and Peele did on the sketch. I swear on my mother. He was like, "What's up, son? You good? Everything all right? All right. You motherfuckers taking care of you, all right?" I was like, that's the first, just shocking. He's the president, but you got to remember, he's a regular guy. He was only famous at the time for 4 years. So, and he loves Ray Allen, right? And Ray couldn't understand why he loved him. I said, this dude loves you. He goes, I don't know why. I said, dude, when he was in Chicago trying to figure out how to keep this YMCA open, he was eating cold Chinese food and watching you in the All-Star game. He's like, oh yeah. I said, yeah, he's newly famous. You've been famous for a long time. And so it was great. He's cool as hell. We went to a party after at Valerie Jarrett's house. It was about as big as your room. The house was this big, so we're all in one effing room. And I remember sitting there going, this is incredible. And he goes, Chris, can you help me move this furniture? I was like, okay. So me and the president are moving furniture and we're laughing, we're talking, and it was an incredible experience.
I feel like somebody else gave me a story where they were trying to get into like a VIP section at either the Oscars or some other shit, and you came in with Michael B. Jordan. You kind of just like cut. I think Rose Catherine might have told me this. I can't remember who it was, but they're like, you kind of just like, and I've seen you do it. You've done it with me a million times. You walk, you just like walk like you're supposed to be somewhere. And then people just let it happen, like wherever you're.
Well, I am supposed to be there, Chad.
Yeah, I know, but I'm like, but you know that, you know what I mean. But you walk everywhere like that. Have you always been like that since you were a kid, or did you grow into
since I was a kid? My favorite movie was Fletch. I don't know if you guys remember Fletch with Chevy Chase, and Chevy Chase could get into everywhere, and I always thought I was Black Chevy Chase. One of my best get-in stories was, I was in college and Eddie Murphy had a party over here in Bel Air. And there was a line that must have been from the top of his driveway all the way down to the bottom. It must have been a good 30 yards. I'm thinking golf. It was huge, long ass line. And so I get to the front, me and my boys, and there's a guy going, yo, are you on the list? Are you on the list? It's one dude. And he's going back and forth on the driveway like this. So he gets over here, he turns his head. I immediately turn my back and go behind him and go to my friends. I'm not sure if I can get y'all in. He goes, hey, man, get your ass back in the party. I was like, I'm sorry.
That's funny.
That was one of my, so that's when I was 19. So I've always been this guy.
And I get the sense that you are, I mean, you just heard how I was talking about you. I get the sense you are like one of the most, there's so much fake love going around in the town of Hollywood. There's so much like, oh, I love that guy, and it's meaningless, right? And I'm so fucking sensitive and introverted, and I'm like, it's hard on me. It's very tough on me. I get the sense people really love you. I know I love you, and I think a lot of it, when I see love around you, it feels like real love. It feels like people actually fuck with you. Nobody says a bad word about you. Where does that come from? Is it from your generosity? Is it from just your spirit? Like, why do you think you've been able to have real love in Hollywood, not that fucking fake shit that I hate?
You know, it's so funny. I've always heard about the fake shit. And maybe it was my upbringing. Like, we didn't play that. You know, my mom wasn't like, we're all human. I can respect what you do, but I'm not going to disrespect you if I'm doing something better than you. And I love seeing people win. Like, I loved seeing you win. And there wasn't no ulterior motives to helping out Chad. When I first read fucking, what was the first script? Archer. I was like, yo, this dude is incredible. And I was like, I just want to see you win. You know what I mean? It wasn't like win and then one day he'll bring me with him. Like, I just like, and that's why all the young comedians love me, because I put a lot of them on. The older comedians love me because I've always ran comedy clubs in the city. And so when they're past their prime, I give them love. When they're not ready yet, I've given them love. And I've just been around, and none of this stuff means nothing. I remember when I had a late night talk show in '97. I don't even know if you were born yet. But
No, yeah, of course I was 97. I thought you said 79. I was gonna say, God damn.
97. And I'm at my launch party with all of my friends. Jamie Foxx is DJing. Everybody's there, right? In the middle of the party, my mom was like, yo, take out the trash. I was like, who are you talking to? She's like, I'm talking to you. Can you take out the trash? And then that stuff over there needs to go over here. I'm in my suit. So that's just how I've come up. This means nothing. I've seen everybody come and I've seen them go. This is when they say this is make believe. This shit is make believe. I've seen the rich get poor, the poor get rich.
I admire that about, you know, your family, like the family that you have raised, you and Vanessa. You know, it felt like an island when I would go visit Hollywood. It would be like, I get to breathe when I go inside this gate. This is a real family. Like, you know, mom and dad are smart and successful, but they're also down to earth. They care about real shit. The kids got to do their homework. They got to practice basketball. Chris Jr. and Bella are like, they're star students, but they're also like cool kids. You know what I mean? Like, they're not like those cheesy, like, oh, am I black kids? You know what I mean? They're like they're real smart and they're real niggas at the same time. Like, they're phenomenal kids. And I'm just like, you have been able to, and now you've just directed your first feature. You're doing your comedy special. Like, it feels like you're not leaving any dreams on the table. It feels like you're not like, how you do that? How do you, like, what do you do, bro?
First of all, can I tell you how sad it was when you met your fiance? And I was like, this motherfucker ain't never coming back. And I was proud of you for making money, but I was like, this motherfucker ain't gonna stay with us no more. He has no reason. And I've heard about Chad sightings here. I'm like, this motherfucker is at the Four Seasons and shit.
Nah, man.
His room is barren. His room is, the couch hasn't been slept on since. And so I'm so happy for your success.
Thank you.
And envious that our
your son,
our brotherhood, because. Yeah, because we called you our prodigal son. You were our nephew. You were the kid's big brother.
Still am, man.
You know what I mean? Like,
still am.
No, I'm just saying. But you're turning into an uncle now.
Yeah, I'm old, Chris.
Like you're becoming almost. You're almost my age now. And so, it was better when you were young, Chad, and and wet behind the ears, and you weren't sure what to wear, and I was buying you T-shirts or telling you what T-shirts to buy. And now I look at these fucking photo shoots. I'm like, does this nigga have an album coming out? This nigga is Maxwell meets Maxi Priest. So I didn't know Prince had a kid from Silver Spring or wherever the hell you're from. So
go ahead, man. Because I used to be uncomfortable.
And so seeing your growth
I used to be uncomfortable. I didn't know. I was just trying to like be like y'all, man.
No, I'm just saying, but to see you discover who Chad is and write fucking books and see you in all these, it just makes me happy. You know what I mean? It makes me happy. It makes me happy. And then one day we'll see you again. I'm sure it won't be in your room.
I still want to know though, like, there's two things, Chris.
You do everything. Your question was,
you do everything.
How do I stay grounded?
You do everything. Do you have more energy than most people? Do you have more focus, more drive? Like, how do you do everything?
I have a lot of aspirations, right? Everything I've gotten has been me going down one road, and then there's a door over here. What the fuck is that? Right? When I had the talk show, I was trying to be an actor. And all of a sudden, Quincy Jones is trying to do a talk show based on this magazine, and like, yo, Chris, you can, audition to be the host. I go, why would I do that when I'm an actor? And so Quincy Jones literally kept asking for me. I was like, no, why would I do that? Because and one day, the day I met him, here's what's great about these people in this that we look up to, is that they're human. They're so fucking human and regular, especially when you see black people and you go, this motherfucker, it's just like me. When I go to see Quincy Jones after saying no for weeks. They go, Mr. Jones, Chris is here to see you. His back is turned. He turns around, looks at me and goes, oh, so this is the motherfucker that don't want to meet me. I was like, oh. They're just like us. Barack Obama. I am sitting in the couch at Valerie Jarrett's house, like, wow, marveling at him dancing, and Michelle's over here with her friends, and they acted just like our family. You know, and I'm not in the White House. I'm in this fucking 1,300 square foot house. We're in the living room. He's right there. Michelle is right there. Sasha and Malia are running around. They're right here. And I'm like, this is fucking crazy. All of a sudden, he sits next to me. Wow. So, Chris, how long you been doing comedy? I'm like, oh, shit. You know me? Yeah, of course I know you. I watch a lot of comedy. I do this, and that. And then to hear him talk and say motherfucker and all this stuff, and I was like, my mouth was like this. But he's just like us. They're human. Like, we put them on this pedestal, but they got to shit. They got to take a piss. They get hungry. They get nervous just like all of us. And so it's great to meet these people and know that they're just like us.
I've noticed in your world too, you and your cohort of like comedians have all, it seems like you guys have all grown up together as well. Like it sounds like sometimes you tell me stories about Jamie Foxx from a year ago, and then you tell stories about Jamie Foxx from 15 years ago. Same thing for Kevin Hart, same thing for Tiffany Haddish, like Cedric the Entertainer. What is it like to be in the middle of all these people who they become household names? You guys all support each other. You act in each other's movies. You shout out each other's. Like, what does that feel like? Does it feel like, what does it feel like?
It's my normal. You know what I mean? I don't realize who they are sometimes until I have somebody with me. You know what I mean? Like, one day I went to go watch Monday Night Football with my friends David and Dana Pump, and we get there, Denzel is there, and I'm like, what up? And my friend's like this. Motherfucker, you know Denzel? I was like, oh yeah, that is Denzel, huh? Yeah. Yeah, we used to hoop at the Y 25 years ago. You know what I mean? Jamie Foxx and I were doing open mics and shit, 30 years ago.
I lost
Sorry,
you.
when some people call, when people call, can I put this on airplane mode and then it won't ring, or what should I do?
What, your phone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as somebody calls,
it's. I don't know.
Let me try. Let me see if I put it in airplane mode. Nobody can interrupt.
No, they're saying don't put it on airplane mode.
Can you hear me now?
There you go. Okay. Thanks, Chris.
Oh, his name is Chris. When you were asking those questions earlier, I was like,
it was tale of two Chris's. Y'all click that heart while he's doing this. I see y'all are still here, which means you're liking it. So please click the heart. We need that.
There we go. Do not disturb. Got it.
And I'm glad we took a little break, because I wanna ask you about a recent experience that you had. I'm not about to ask you about Jamie Foxx.
You know that's how I answer the phone now, right?
Right. I don't know what's up with Jamie.
Yeah. The phone rings. I don't know what's up with Jamie Foxx. Hello?
No, actually, I'm glad you said that, because we're going to come back. I want to talk to you about directing a feature film, because I want to direct a feature by the time I'm 35. I want to get it done by the time I'm 40. And you just directed your first feature, and I'm like, there's so many questions I want to ask you. Before we get to that, I didn't call your phone when this is over a year old, so just bear with me. I didn't call your phone when Chris Rock, because I knew your phone was blowing up. I knew that the Chris hotline was going to be impossible to get in on.
Oh,
but
my God, yes. I am the nigga net. You know that, right?
And these are your friends. These are your real friends. Like, so I want to know, and first I want to give you my point of view, just because I just want to say it. I just want to get it out there. I think of stand-up comedy. I think of stand-up. It's like, if, listen, Steph Curry has an amazing handle. He has great court vision. He's strong at this point. He can do a lot of things, but Steph is a shooter. When I think of you, I think of, you can write, you can act, you can produce, you can bring people together, all this, but you are a comedian first in my mind. That's how I think of you.
Thank you.
Okay?
That's my goal this year. Uh-huh.
That's how I see you. So these are your people. When I think of y'all's profession, comedy, stand-up comedy, I think of, there is an inherent danger in stand-up comedy. You are in front of a group of people. You are saying some wild and perceptive things out of your human mouth, and you have to deal with the consequences as they come. That's a part of the tension. That's a part of the environment. That's what makes it special to me. And so when somebody got smacked doing that job, I found it to be unfortunate, but I also thought of it to be as a casualty of the job. It's a part of what makes the job special in my mind, is that there is an inherent danger. What do you think, Chris? Tell me what to actually think.
Especially with black people. Okay. Ricky Gervais could go to the Golden Globes and go, Sean Penn, fuck you, and Brad Pitt, your fucking hair looks like a sissy. And then if he sees Brad Pitt's gonna be like, oh man, that was cold. You did that joke. Oh, Brad, it's just jokes. Niggas will step to you. And if they don't step to you, their cousin, uncle, brother, sister, mama will step to you. And if they don't step to you, somebody who wants to impress them will step to you. So you have to know all of that. So that's why if you see my act, I don't celebrity bash. I never wanted to because I just thought it was easy. Some of that stuff is easy and mean. I'm not a mean comic. I like to say dark stuff sometimes, but not about people,
right.
Especially our people. And that's why I want to talk about Ja Morant too, because I know that I have a take on when we get there too. So I've never been that guy to have to worry about, if I do an R. Kelly joke, when he sees me, is he gonna pee on me? You know what I mean? Because I never really did an R. Kelly joke. I never did a Mike Tyson joke because I can't whoop Mike Tyson. I never did a joke about, people who probably I can whoop. I just wasn't that guy. I wasn't gonna do any Brandon T. Jackson jokes or Kevin Hart jokes when he's down. Like, I don't do those kind of jokes. So, because black people will step to you. I've seen people get stepped to. A friend of mine did a Farrakhan joke, right? This is in the 90s. And I swear on my mother, he did it. His son was in the audience. I saw them stand up like in fucking Malcolm X, and that motherfucker went like this. And they all marched outside. And when they came out, they beat the bacon off this kid. You hear me? He never had pork again.
So okay, so if I, oh shit, I hope I didn't just break something. If I'm understanding correctly, what it sounds like you're saying is Chris Rock crossed the line, and if you cross the line in comedy, which you are allowed to do, it's part of the job. Sometimes,
but did he really cross the line?
I mean,
to me.
Not to you, but I guess to you. Will Smith, like, he's a real person, like.
Yeah. So that story is deeper than that one joke.
Okay.
You know what I mean? There was something else that these two had, and I think it was like, if I was just to summarize it, the next time you say something about my wife, I'm gonna slap the shit out of you. Yeah, okay. And even though Chris Rock just said something that wasn't really major, he was like, "But I believe that's the next time."
That
you know what I mean?
That's a perfect segue because we talked about Ja Morant. I don't know did you hear us talk about Ja Morant earlier?
But I heard. If I know you, I could imagine it was brilliant.
Thank you. I don't know if it was brilliant. It was. My point of view is I was 23. I was 25 when I got my wake up call. I was asleep with my foot on the brake, and the cop knocked on my window at a stoplight where I had probably 7 or 8 shots and had fallen asleep on my way home. Like, that was my wake up call at 25. Like, okay, if you keep fucking around, you're gonna hurt yourself or you're gonna hurt somebody else terribly, and that's gonna be your life. With that said, Ja Morant's 23. He's a baby. He is a baby with huge pressure and huge responsibility. On some level that he might not have known was coming his way when he was playing at Murray State, of all places. So as much as I understand he's putting himself in harm's way, I cringe when I see people like Mike Wilbon, Stephen A. Smith wagging their finger. You're bad boy. You know better. Yada, yada. I'm not buying my kid your shoes. Shame on you. It doesn't feel genuine to me. It feels like grandstanding. It feels like media segments. It doesn't feel like they're actually, I see a young guy that reminds me of myself and I hope he's okay and I want to help him. I don't feel that when I watch that. That's what I think. What do you think, Chris?
Listen, you know I do Chris's 2 cents, right? I just started doing them. The first one I did was yesterday. It was about LeBron and this GOAT conversation. And I was like, dude, if this motherfucker wins the championship, I'm gonna have to reevaluate my feelings about who is the GOAT, right? And then at the end, I said, you know what? He'll never be the GOAT until I can wear his shoes with a suit, right? About that's what I said about LeBron. My next one yesterday, which I didn't post yet, was my anger towards our heroes, our black men that are in the media, that have these incredible positions, talking down on Ja Morant and Ben Simmons and Harding and fucking up their money by saying shit that could fuck up their money, right? And fuck up their livelihood. You know, you shouldn't get, you hear these motherfuckers telling these owners, I wouldn't pay them a dime. Why would you give them a raise? As these white boys go, these white boys feed them. What do you think about Ja Morant? Thank you. And then they go on these fucking, and they just shit. Listen, I think it's okay to acknowledge Ja Morant did something dumb, stupid, and ignorant. I think it's fucked up when you call him dumb, stupid, and ignorant. And if you notice, it's only these, I want to stop saying this word. I'm gonna say it as if it's spelled Negus. I heard that's positive. I'm tired of these niggas shitting on these young fucking black men that make mistakes. So the one thing I said was, the white boys don't do it. You never heard Skip talk about fucking Tebow as an asshole, a dick, a stupid motherfucker that doesn't need no money. He didn't talk about when Brett Favre did the shit with the kids in Mississippi stealing their money. He didn't shit on fucking Tom Brady when he was cheating. They'll shit on the act, but they don't ever go, you dumb white motherfucker, right? So they don't do that, right? Even when fucking Dana White slapped the shit out of his wife, nobody white said anything bad. And nobody black said any bad. So that's what makes me mad too. These niggas don't talk shit about these white boys like that. You didn't call Brett Favre a dumb cracker motherfucker, but you'll shit on Ben Simmons because this nigga won't shoot an open layup. Anyway, so
Chris, you know these people. You know them. You know.
Right.
One time we were writing a script about a college basketball player. You pick up the phone and you call Kenny Smith. You're like, Kenny, what happens when blah, blah, blah happens? He's like, hey, Chris, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
You know these. I don't even, sometimes I don't even have to, like, I saw Larry Wilmore one time. I was like, I know that's Chris's mans. I don't have to guess. I know you know Mike Wilbon. I know you know Stephen A. Smith. I don't even have to know it.
Right.
You know these people. Like, what? Is that who they really are? Or is that, do they think that's a part of their job? Is that how you get bigger opportunities? Like,
it seems to me like these white boys can't say that stuff about us, or it's inherently racist. So now I'm gonna make my show with this well-respected, incredible athlete, or incredible heralded and respected announcer, or you know what I mean? And I'm gonna go, man, that's crazy. What do you think about him? Glad you asked. And now these niggas look like Steven from fucking Django, talking about these black people in the field who have the same fucking skin color as you. And in any instant, this motherfucker could change some shit and your black ass could be out in the field. Not that that's the exact situation with us, but I think we got to stop doing that. And here's the other thing. These motherfuckers are lucky they were born at the time they were, because they all got fucking baby mama drama, DUIs, bar fights. They fucking done some gunplay too. But you know what they didn't have in front of them? A fucking camera phone. So if SkyTel two-way pager had a goddamn camera on it, some of you niggas wouldn't be sitting where you are right now. If the flip phone had video capabilities, you niggas wouldn't be sitting where you're sitting now. So stop fucking judging and let's help. The greatest thing ever, this is so funny because you saying I name drop. I know these people, but I'm about to name drop. I'm at Erewhon. That's a fantastic supermarket in the west coast of the United States. It's like Whole Foods plus fresher vegetables. I see Ron Artest, right? World Peace. And he's like, he's sad. I go, what's up? He's like, I gotta get Ja's number, man. I gotta call him, man. I gotta talk to that dude. And it was great to hear him come from that angle. Because if anybody's fucked up and done some crazy shit and got caught on camera, it was him. So he definitely knows the ramifications of some shit. And that shit wasn't really his fault. You know what I mean? But, you know, he felt the hurt, the pain, the anger from the fans, the people, his family, whatever. And so he was like, the first thing he says, I got to reach out to Ja. And he said, do you have his number? Because you know everybody. I said, no, I only know niggas 42 and older.
I'm happy to hear you.
I have Ja Rule's number, but not Ja Morant.
I'm happy to hear you say. I swear, Chris, I didn't know what your point of view was going to be on this, but before when we were talking about it, I said, I literally said this. I said I don't know Wilbon, Stephen A, the next guy, but I know Chris knows them, and I am certain if I asked Chris, did these guys used to wild out just like the young boys do? The thing is, it's not even it's like that's just what people do, man. Like that's just human nature.
This Freaknik movie will come out soon, and you'll see how some of your heroes used to get down.
I appreciate. Thank you for unloading that. Also, by the way, that's gonna do fantastically on YouTube. We're gonna slice all this up and put it out and all that good stuff. Morgan, let's please make sure we bookmark everything Chris just said about Ja Morant. I think that is like what it's so easy and obvious and fucking boring to say he shouldn't play with guns. Like, duh, he shouldn't play with guns. He knows he shouldn't play with guns.
Let me ask you something. Let me play devil's advocate. Because I don't even know. What is so bad about what he did?
Listen, you're saying you're preaching to the choir, Chris. The first words that came out of my mouth about all this was, did he break a law? Like, you tell me. He probably riding around South Carolina or Tennessee. He's got a legal weapon in his hand. He's listening to music with his friend. If you take the exact same thing, you flip it, and he's holding a hunting rifle or a hunting shotgun. It's two white boys. They're listening to Post Malone instead of NBA Youngboy, and they have the exact same scene. I don't think we're hearing about any of this. I don't think we're dealing with any of this shit. Like, so
no.
all the
nobody shits on us like us, and that's why we look like fucking overseers sometimes. Because even Kwame Brown, I was like, he called him NBA dumb boy. I'm like, you fucking complain because people shit on you, and now you become them. You know what I mean? You now that you have a little bit of a platform, now you're gonna do the exact same thing that these people just told that they did to you, and you was ready to fight motherfuckers and come down to their studio.
It's powerless. It's powerless. It's punching down. It's none of these people bully up to their own bosses. None of these people, I promise you, Mike Wilbon does not bully up to his producer or to the president of ESPN. Nope. I'm certain of it. And everybody who comes and has a stern voice, man, he's fucking up his money and this and that and the third. Y'all don't talk that stern to the people that write your checks. You don't talk that stern to the people that bully you.
Nope.
You don't talk that stern to anybody that can cause you harm.
You don't talk like that to Massa. No, sir. No, sir. Don't you talk like that,
Chris. So the last thing, okay, we got 7 minutes here. I am genuinely curious. I mean, I'm gonna call you just to get more into it, but I want either one. Yes. I want to talk about your experience directing your first feature because I'm so curious about how you felt about all that. I also want to know about your special. Your special, yes. Which one do you want to talk about? Which one do you want to talk about?
Okay. So boom. Let's take 3.5 and do both. Okay. The movie, the most incredible experience ever. My friend Eric Daniel and I wrote a movie called Back on the Strip. It's about these 5 strippers, male strippers, that get back together after 25 years to help this woman who put them on save her hotel and the club that they danced in. It stars Tiffany Haddish, Wesley Snipes, Spence Moore, who you may know from Creed. He played the young Jonathan Majors. Bill Bellamy, Faison Love, Gary Owen, J.B. Smoove, a young girl named Reagan Harris, who you may know from Grownish. Another guy who's kind of our villain name. His name is Ryan Alexander. I got my very dear friend Buddy Lewis. We got Colleen Camp. We got Spanky Hayes. It's like a whole cast of incredible actors and funny people in this movie. And what was great about this is I picked up the phone and said, I'm doing a movie. And just like how I did you and said, I'll do it tomorrow, they said, send me the fucking script. I'm in. Just from the pitch.
Just so I can I want to put an exclamation point on how real what you're talking about is. So I'm going to come right back into it, but I want to make sure I painted this picture. When I'm climbing and clawing for my spot. I'm trying to get in, right? And I'm riding around with you in LA one day. I forgot what we had just done. We had just done something. And you're like, man, I got this meeting over there by the beach somewhere at Morgan Freeman's company, Revelations, whatever. I just happened to be in the car with you. It could have been anybody. And you're like, you want to come with me and try to pitch this thing to them? Like, just like that. Like, you don't overthink it. You don't like,
Is that how
I don't want this kid to. Chris, it happened just like that, man. You were like, it's across town. You want to go pitch this thing with me? I'm like, yeah. And we go in there, and Chris, and I don't know if you want this to be public, but like, we spitballed in the car. We sat in the hotel restaurant, had lunch, we went to the meeting, and we kind of winged it, just like we're doing right now. And they were like, it's brilliant. We love it. Like, let's make it, And the next time I come to LA, we're meeting with Morgan Freeman. But I'm saying it to say, when you say you just picked up the phone and called these people, you're not paraphrasing. That's not the story version of it. You really do be all day in your car picking up the phone, calling people just to make some shit happen. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Well, let me tell you why I'm glad we're talking about that, because there's this fucking notion that Black people don't work together, right? Or they don't help each other. There's so many different negatives about our culture that pisses me off. There's no Black men in the house. Nigga, I'm in the house. Matter of fact, when I grew up in Inglewood, my family was the first ones to get divorced. Everybody had daddies on the block. Mowing lawn. Anyway, God, I need another show. So, incredible experience. I was a little intimidated by Wesley, right? Because he is fucking Wesley Snipes. So, I found myself like the first day directing other people instead of Wesley. So, I'll be like, hey, Wesley, Faison, come over here so Wesley can see you. And then after a while, he made me so comfortable. So, incredible experience where we sold the movie. We did it independently. We raised the money, sold it. We were on 1,800 to 2,000 screens across the country. We could have come out earlier to do all the streaming, but the producer was like, movies are coming back. People want to go to theaters. They want popcorn. They want candy. And it's August 18th at a theater near you.
And you know me, I have to ask, and if you don't want to answer, I can ask you offline, but who financed it? How does the money happen?
The guys we pitched it to had money. And they've done movies before. One guy was a distributor who put stuff on shelves, put libraries of stuff on Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, whatever they need. And this is his first foray into this. He's the one that came over and said, yo, I heard you guys have these movies. I want to do a movie. Let me read these scripts. And boom, Back on the Strip was the first one he picked. So the guy who we had money. They did a raise. They got some other money. They found the money. And we shot it for a lot of money. Way more than some of my counterparts have made their first films for. And I'm talking about F. Gary Gray and Tim Story and John Singleton. And I had a real budget. You know what I mean? So that was great. It was rough because we probably won't get to the comedy. It was rough because I had a 28-day shoot and they made it 20. So now I'm this new director who don't know I know what I'm doing, but I don't know what I'm doing. I got an incredible DP. I got an incredible AD, which is very important. We'll talk about that. They saved me. They helped me. But you know who saved me more than any motherfucker in the world? That fucking woman in that room right there. Nope. Vanessa Ann Spencer. She started off as the casting director and ended up the executive producer. She shaped this whole shit together. When I was like, blah, 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 I got you. She's like, what the fuck is this wardrobe? They would never wear this. She took the credit card. She go buy $2,000 worth of fucking clothes. I'm like, hey, motherfucker, make sure you get our money back. Don't worry about it. I'll get it. Tiffany's fucking hair looks gross. She found the right fucking hairdresser in Vegas. Who's doing your makeup? No. No. Tiffany won't wear this. Boom, makeup, boom. Fuck, catering. This shit is gross. Get rid of that. Hey, listen, but She
I
took
believe
over.
it too. I've seen it. I've seen it in that. Is she nearby? Is she close enough to say what's up or no?
Hold on. Let's see. She probably on here. Look, she just wrote, "Are you done? Are you done? Or are you finished?"
If she can just pop in, we're gonna have to shut it down in like what 2 minutes?
Come
5
back here.
minutes?
Chad wants to say hi.
A few minutes.
Right.
I do want to just say what's up to Vanessa.
Hello? Can you hear me, Chad? Okay, she's coming.
While y'all are waiting, yes, I can. Okay, while y'all are waiting, I know y'all enjoyed this. Please click the heart. I hope y'all are chatting in the chat. I can't see you. This is the most people we've ever had on this show at one time. The interview is gonna do very well online. Chris, thank you for. I have one more question. Oh, I'm gonna ask this question while we wait for Vanessa. Oh, hi.
Hi, Chad.
Well, actually, I'm gonna ask Vanessa instead of you. Hi, Vanessa.
You guys see why I'm so lucky?
Hi,
So
Chad.
this is the thing, and this is how
Hello.
they capture us. So, but
So
you can look
good.
here, I guess. I just told him how you. Yeah, we can hear you
Can
well.
you hear me?
I was telling him how you took over and saved my life with Back on the Strip by saying he ain't wearing that, she ain't eating this. The lining is over bad. Blah 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 blah.
Got it.
Yeah, that's where we were.
I'm
gonna slip back into dark.
First of all, Vanessa,
This
congratulations.
is who I am when
He said that.
Chad. This is who I am when Vanessa comes around anyway, around people.
He said, well, first, congratulations. He told me that you're EP on the movie and you were casting it. And I mean, I haven't talked to you all in a minute, so I can't do all the like lovey-dovey shit right now, but that I want to. But thank you for giving me a home in LA when I was always feeling very insecure and out of place when I would come out there. You guys made me feel like just safe, and that's I can't even tell you how much that is important.
Your oldest son, actually. I'm like, did he divorce us? Did like,
what did I just say?
Did we break up? Like, what
he
happened?
met him a little girl. Now when he comes to LA, he stays at the Four Seasons.
Like, I haven't.
His room is clean.
No,
the room is clean.
Vanessa, can I tell you? I haven't been
to work out. Like,
I've been to LA one time,
and we heard about it.
Probably
you were at the fucking Renaissance or some shit.
No, we just miss you and we love you. And no, like it was always so joyful having you in the house because I think like the kids felt like there was somebody closer to their age, like they had you to talk to, give them a different perspective and advice. And I think in a way it also really helped shape Christopher in terms of like seeing what hard work does and like and like being an inspiration by being so focused. And you had the choice to go to Harvard and you had the choice to go to Morehouse and why you chose Morehouse and what that was. And as he got to this place and his college decision, of needing to figure out and make a pivot because Howard wasn't a yes right away. And so, weighing out, do I just want to be in DC and go to American because I want to be in DC, or do I suck it up, go to Atlanta and go to Morehouse because I like Morehouse. I like the school, even though I don't see myself living in Atlanta.
He liked Morehouse, but he didn't like Atlanta.
Right. So, but he was like, I need to really remember what like Chad said, what Kevin Parker said, what Robbie said, like, there's a special experience that happens there. Like, I will be a Morehouse man. That's something to be said, right? Like, that's appreciated and admired. And, like, so there's so much like Bella with the jokes. Bella wants to now be a writer. I mean, I'm like, you may have to find a new fucking career because all of us writers right now are like, we might not be writing. Chat GPT might be doing this shit for us in a year from now.
You say chat or Chad GPT?
Chad is his own Chat GPT. Like Chad is that guy.
You might have influenced him into wanting to go to a HBCU now that I think about it.
Yeah, like I think he just.
I hope so. I mean, and y'all know, like I told Chris, I'm from Silver Spring. So if my dad is a professor at Howard Law School also. So if he needs anything, we are literally.
We need a scholarship.
Yeah.
We know
another scholarship.
I also wanted to
stop, dog.
While y'all sitting here, and Chris, I already said this to you. Morgan can hear us right now, but Morgan, that's the puppy. Morgan Williams. We're gonna get out of here in 2 seconds, Josh. Morgan Williams produces this show. She is about as old as I was when you guys met me. That is as much as I'll say. She is brilliant. She's so smart. She's such a high achiever. She's crushing it producing this show. She lives in LA. She's my #1 draft pick of anybody I have ever met that's younger than me in this business. And she is and she's Black and Mexican and from LA. And I want y'all, if you guys have any time at all, I'm gonna just keep telling her, like, please, please, please try to go talk to this family. She's like,
we would let her sleep on the couch, but she lives in the Baldwin Hills.
No, she's like me, Bella, if we were like mashed together. That's her personality.
No, literally, when she started talking, I was like, how do you know Chad? Because she felt like you and sounds like you already. Morgan, show your face real quick.
She's gonna
show your face, Morgan.
A big smile. There she is.
It's her birthday, babe.
Oh, happy birthday. She reminds me of this Alyssa Lands, who's an agent over at UTA. You look just like her. Very.
Feliz cumpleaños.
She's the shit. Okay, all right. We got to get out of here. This has been so.
All right, so real quick.
Okay. Yes, tell me, Vanessa.
Thank you. Oh, just real quick.
You need to wait time out.
You need to get
Vanessa on the show.
All right, Vanessa, you come next.
With regards to Back on the Strip, it was a family affair. I'm coming because I also have a new job too.
You know she runs Tiffany Haddish's company.
I did not know that. Congratulations.
Oh yeah. So she can do Thursday if you want her.
We can't. Why can't we? We have something else on Thursday, but we'll.
No, I'm joking. Just know that
I wanted to come ASAP. Okay. Also, Vanessa. Juliana is on Good Morning America today at 4 o'clock and at 6 o'clock on ABC. For this, she made an online crossword puzzle that gets like 40,000 downloads a day. So please check her out today.
Oh, who are you?
We're trying to be like y'all. We're trying to be like y'all.
Like, I didn't reach high enough on the ladder. Like,
how do you go Good Morning America in the afternoon?
It's amazing because they have like a 4-hour segment.
It come on at 1. I don't know, Chris. I don't know. Go turn it on.
No,
okay,
I gotta go turn it on now. Okay.
Thank you.
I love you. I'm going to turn it on now.
Bye. All right.
Bye.
Thanks everybody who stayed for
Morgan.
the extra hour. I saw even more people come on in this extra hour. I'm gonna play some music and then I'm gonna come back and we'll debrief. Chris, I love you, man. Chris, thank you. I love you. I'm excited for you.
Love you. I have a comedy special I shot. We're gonna talk about it next time.